What's up? It is June 12th, Sunday, June 12th, 2022. Welcome to the Zodiac Chatline. I am your host, Tennah, and as always, I have Cassie with me. Cassie, what's up, girl?
Not much. Just enjoying the fun of Gemini season. Truly, it's feeling good. How about you?
Me too. I've been a little more social, if you will, during Gemini season. Like peaking. Oh, okay, and then come right back to come to another home. But it's been nice to kind of catch up with people and just have fun for a minute and not really think about all the heaviness that's around us and kind of just enjoy each other's company. And I think that's really what Gemini season is about, is really truly enjoying people's company, getting to know people, learning, just the chattiness, the like.
Yeah,
I'm
and
here
you
for
get to
it.
take a break from going too deep. You know.
Oh, no, for sure.
And as we talked about just before the top of the hour, you'll have a chance to go deep into your feelings here soon enough. So just enjoy the
Yeah,
fun
we
while
barely
it
have a week
lasts.
left. For real
That is
talk.
crazy, y'all. Time just
Doesn't matter.
right. Also that.
Um, because now that we are pretty much right in the middle, almost end of Gemini season, we are coming up on a full moon in Sagittarius on Wednesday, early in the morning, late Tuesday night. So guys, this is a fun one. This is fun, expansive type of energy. I say we all dream big and enjoy what we want to inspire to be. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. We all know that the Sagittarius symbol is the arrow, and mutable fire aims. We just don't know where. So we try and just take a big, take their luck and look where they shoot the arrow. So I'm here for this Sagittarius full moon.
Heck yeah. I think, yeah, have fun. Go, if you have a chance to go do something, do something. Have a conversation. Eh, it's going to be good times, baby. Like, not every full moon I would recommend, like, yeah, go out and see what you can get up to.
Yeah,
But a
right.
Sagittarius full moon, actually, sure. Like, you may find just what you need, you know?
Where
Luck
you,
might
yeah,
just
exactly. Luck, yeah, exactly. I was gonna say luck may shine upon you in the most unexpected moments and places of time.
for
And we
sure.
do have a lot of, energy that's rocking in. We were talking about this earlier, how a lot of the planets are in their home signs, and that's pretty strong energy. So, we have Venus in Taurus, and Mars in Aries, and Neptune in Pisces. All of these placements are like in their strengths at all of those. That's a lot, though. It's a
Yeah,
lot of,
Venus is our softer side,
yeah.
our sense of beauty and self-love. And, Venus and Taurus wants chocolate and naps
Mm.
and luxuriating.
Yes.
But Mars is our action, planet, and us getting up and getting out and doing something. And in Aries, like, I can't take a nap and fuck shit up. And yet I am being called to do both. Like, meanwhile, Neptune and Pisces has me wondering if all of this is a dream. And every time I see one of those TikTok videos about timeline skipping, I'm like, man, not today. I
The
just,
the side note, the lemon one. What?
if anyone has
What?
seen the lemon video from TikTok, Google it. It's on BuzzFeed also. It's crazy. It will make you question things.
It will remind us that Neptune is in Pisces. Um,
Right.
but we still, have the North Node and Uranus right there with Venus. So, maybe some unexpected lessons in love relationships as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just, but enjoy. I think enjoying energy rather than trying to fight against it, especially when it's Taurus energy, it's probably a good idea. And Saturn and Pluto still retrograde, so rage against the system because authority is what? Yeah, the lemon
Late
was so
stage
trouble.
capitalism. It's so troubling. The lemon video is really troubling, you guys. If you haven't watched it, please find it. Yeah. We also have another planet moving into one of its home signs. Mercury is going into Gemini tomorrow. So expect, to feel chatty and go with it, baby. Like, what are we?
Yeah. And it's really, and we're pretty much about to be the end of the shadow period of Mercury retrograde from a couple weeks ago. So it's kind of like full speed ahead. Let's rock and roll. Let's
Mm-hmm.
make it happen. But I'm excited about this Sagittarius full moon. I feel like it's going to be a good celebratory. It's given me like a cross between like Three of Cups and like Six of Wands.
Ooh, okay. All right. I'm here
Yeah.
for that. Yes.
Yeah, fun
Mm-hmm.
in the spotlight. All right, you ready? You ready?
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
see they are in the chat. Okay, y'all. So this guest, Cassie and I are super excited about because they found us on what? TikTok? TikTok, y'all. Found us on TikTok, reached out. So this multifaceted being is a entrepreneur to the extreme, creative. I love it. I'm so excited that they're going to be on our show. They have quite the spicy chart, and we love a spicy chart here at the chat
Mm-hmm.
line. Cassie, tell us their placements while I get them in here.
All right. Um, we are talking to Quiande, Aries sun, Scorpio moon, and Leo rising, which
Hi.
we love.
As the main
Hi.
comes in.
Hi.
Yes, yes. Leo rising
Yes.
here in the
Yes,
chat.
yes, 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 yes.
How are you tonight? We were talking in the pre-call. The moon is currently in Scorpio today.
Yes,
So just
I
celebrating in your little.
know. We'll see about that. Maybe.
Right, all right. TBD. So tell the folks in the chat a little bit about yourself and your relationship to astrology.
Um, I kind of started getting into astrology maybe 2018, 19. Um, it just started off as just like I would watch tarot videos on YouTube every once in a while just to be like, okay, is it real? Is it not? Let's just see. And then um I kind of had this period of like semi-awakening is what I call it, because I started having the idea of that like time and reality really don't exist. So like it just hit me out of nowhere, and then the pandemic happened and I'm like, okay, time and reality really don't exist. So I was just like, I'm just gonna go like full-fledged deep into it, and ever since then it's just been something that like I wake up and I'll be like, okay, well, I know that it doesn't exist, but let's go be productive today and do something. So yeah.
I love it. I love
I
it.
love it too. You've clearly seen the lemon video.
Yes, yes, I have.
So watch after this, everybody is gonna go watch for the life. They'll be like, what are they talking about? When you see it, you
Right,
will. Oh my goodness.
right. But yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Where do we start with your chart? Um, I mean it's so much. Okay, we're gonna start with your sun and Saturn, which seem to just be on top of each other, like
Yes,
less
yes.
than 13 minutes apart. If
Hmm.
anybody, when I'm talking about this, if the way we look at the chart, when we look at Kiande's chart, Kiande has his sun in Aries, and it is in the ninth house at 23 degrees, I believe.
Hmm.
Um, and Saturn is right there at the same time. And for me, that is a lot of karmic structural
Yeah,
lesson
yeah.
energy. So my question to you is, what lessons have you learned about yourself on how to be yourself?
Not to be so hard on myself. not necessarily, like a lot of times I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself to be the greatest of what I can be instead of taking the baby steps to work up there. It definitely takes time, but me, it's just like if it's not done the certain way that I want it to be done, it's just like I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm trying to pace myself as much as I can, but it's a little challenging a little bit. It's a little bit, but we're working on it.
That's good for an Aries moon to learn to pace yourself because that fire is quick to burn out.
Oh
It's
yeah.
real
Um,
quick. It's really quick.
Aries sun, yeah, and yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, it's like the child with the dad
With
right
the
in
yeah,
front of
dad,
right,
it,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
Like, don't do it like that, don't do it like that,
Yeah.
don't do it like, and it is. It's like when you tell yourself you haven't done a good enough job, it's not perfect, it's not exactly what you imagined, or when you tell a little child that they're done, they're like
they're not.
whatever, right?
Mm-hmm,
And you
mm-hmm.
really have to like nurture as an Aries sun with so much prominent, I mean, the Saturn in Aries placement, and then also you have Mercury in retrograde in Aries as well, like right near there. Like you you got to be kind to your inner child,
Right.
like, you know, that baby deserves your love. And but good for you for recognizing that,
I'm
right?
trying.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
No,
Trying.
you're doing it before your Saturn return, which I think is healthy. Because,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think, that'll happen for you in about the next 4 or 5 years. Because right now Saturn is in Aquarius and then,
Right.
it goes through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're going to grow so much in that, but it will be a life-changing moment, I'm sure, for you because those placements are so close. But we all got lessons to
We
learn.
all. Yeah.
I'm glad you're learning
Yeah.
them early.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Cassie, what you got for him?
Okay, so I'm gonna shift gears a little bit to talk about kind of your Scorpio moon placement
Oh
and a
my
little
God.
a little bit of eighth house energy rocking and some Pisces placements as well. So my question is, who gets to see the inner you?
Only two people that are like closest to me. I don't really like
Mhm.
showing my emotional side to people because it's just like, eh, like why be vulnerable when I could just be tough all the time? But mm, no, I say a couple people. Like my sister, she sees my
Mhm.
vulnerable side a lot, and then my two best friends, they see it as well. But not it's not something that I show often.
Scorpio is so, of course, your moon placement governs your emotions and what you need to feel emotional security, right? And
Hmm.
Scorpio is uh man, they are deep. They're so deep and they feel extremely deeply, and they uh, don't readily share that with
No.
others because
Mm-mm.
it makes you vulnerable to share that, but
Right.
it's also a great gift to give another person to share, your vulnerability with them. um so and because you do have Venus and Jupiter and Pisces in the eighth house, I think so Venus, if it were just Venus and Pisces in your eighth house is traditionally associated with Scorpio, right? So
Right.
that's the
Right.
energy of transformation and death and rebirth. And Venus and Pisces there is really deep. It wants soul to soul recognition out of a love relationship and
Hmm.
expects and craves a love that is going to transform it, right? And it might be a little, if it were accompanied by, say, a Saturn or even like maybe a Uranus, I would be like, you gotta be really choosy. But I think with Jupiter there, it's really like, I think when you find that person, I think you will have good luck in letting your guard down for the right person. And I some people's charts, I look at them and think they won't be discerning enough with people. And with yours, I think there's reason to believe you might be a little too discerning. So just,
Just a little,
if you feel
just.
it, like if you feel open to it, I think there's good luck with letting a little bit of vulnerability, come
Right.
out. And don't be afraid of that side of yourself, because those
Hmm.
are it's a great gift to feel so deeply, and to share it with somebody else who appreciates it and deserves it, I think would be
Right.
really magical.
Right.
So to piggyback on that, I did read something having your moon in the fourth house in Scorpio. It is considered fall, so sometimes it is considered a more challenging placement for a moon sign. And the fourth house is our base, it's our home. And one piece of advice for that was to transform pain into purpose and live out your life purpose through creating a foundation for your life. So, how are you
Right.
creating a foundation for your life?
So if you guys remember, I told you a little bit about one of the business ventures I'm planning. So with that, the name of it, it kind of all ties into like everything that I've done in life and what I want to give back to life in itself, with bringing other people into it. Like it really is me being vulnerable to people, but on a more broad scale, kind of in a sense. Like I don't really tell everybody my next moves. I don't really tell anyone what I'm doing. I don't like people. I don't like a lot of people in my business. And this, what I'm planning, it really does require me to be like, okay, I need people to help me, so I have to be more vulnerable. I have to let them know exactly what I'm doing so that they can see my vision and help me. So yeah.
I think that that's awesome. You just, for you, not just have expectations of like what you need out of that and set,
Right.
good brand. And you don't have to tell them what they need to know. You don't have to tell them everything. And
I
I
really
am here
don't.
with you. I'm here with you. You can know
I
what you need to
really
know.
don't, but I just be like, I try to tell them as much as I can without
Yeah.
like saying and
Right.
showing exactly what I'm doing, but they get it.
I have a question,
Yes.
and that kind of will lead, a little bit into discussion of your North Node, but how do you stay grounded? Or do you stay grounded?
Oh, you know, I that's a tricky question. So sometimes I really I try to I have okay, it's okay. So I have a journal like so I have a journal and I try to write in it every once in a while, but I kind of strayed away from it because I really just haven't felt like myself in a while.
Mm,
So I haven't done anything to it in like 2.5 months. So I'm kind of floating right now into the atmosphere, just like bouncing off wall to wall until I come back down and find myself again. So usually, when I'm in a grounded place, most times I meditate, I'll go outside, I'll write outside, or I'll just do a lot of things that I like to do in my alone time that really does value what I want to do in life. So yeah.
yeah. So I asked that because you don't have very much earth sign energy
No,
at all in your
absolutely not.
chart.
No.
And
Which sucks, which
we
really does suck. But
Yeah, your one is in Taurus, Mars in Taurus, which is a bit of a challenging placement. And also Taurus is probably I don't know, they're not it's not that they're the least grounded. All the earth signs are very grounded, but like that particular placement isn't necessarily the most grounded of any earth sign
yeah,
placement you could
yeah.
get. Um and also your North Node is in Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that said, you come into this life with your South Node energy in Pisces, and we've already talked about you have these other two strong Pisces placements in the eighth house, and you're very connected to your dreams, your sixth sense, your vision
Mm-hmm.
and visions of what could be and transform. But the devil is in the details, right? And that's the energy. The structure is the thing that fate is calling you to, right?
Right.
It's that ability to use the planner and use it all year, or like, you know what I mean, like really plan it out and plot it out. And because Virgos, that's what they do, right? And they are systems and
Mm-hmm.
structure and
Mm-hmm.
step by step by step by step. And you already you said all the things that will help cultivate that, right? Like going outside and using a journal, and like also, we're all going through a lot right now. So
Right.
I'm trying
Right.
to like
That's why I'm
anytime
not trying to
we
be
have,
so hard on myself.
yes,
Yes.
and yeah, when we have folk, you're not the first person who's had a Virgo North Node placement that we've talked to on the show. Yeah, Danae has a Virgo. No, that's great. um, and it's just really hard right now to be grounded and like and have structure.
Right.
So I think having grace with yourself is good. But also knowing that, you know, it's it's easier to deal with big things in small chunks.
Right.
And if you, sometimes I'll write something on my to-do list that I've already done just to cross it off, you know, and like,
I do that.
like it feels good.
It does.
I needed
It
to do
really
this
does.
today. I just hadn't written my list down yet, so I'm putting it on here and crossing it off because it got
Right.
done.
Yeah.
But also, you know, yeah, like using a little bit, you know, smaller goals for each particular day, and then again, having grace with yourself, but like also a little bit of accountability. Or, you know, this show started because
Word.
Coral and Tanae and I were each other's accountability partners for separate
Right.
projects. And then it was like, it all kind of came together and we're like, well, let's do this other project together. And part of the reason I think it's been going is because, you know, we just asked each other about it, not in a mean way, but like, so you say, you know, you have people that you're close to and
Mm-hmm.
making recruiting them to help you, you know, stay grounded with what you're doing too, I
Kind
think might
of.
be
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah. Kind of. Maybe. Maybe.
So, the ninth house, which has your sun and Saturn and Mercury in it, is normally ruled by Sagittarius, and that is philosophy, expansion, religion. And so, my question to you was, how has that been a part of your life?
Well, religion wise, I kind of grew up Christian, but we strayed so far away from that. But right now, I'm kind of just like, I know there's some type of higher power. So I'm just like, I don't really say much when it comes to religion. I just like, thank you, source, thank you, spirit. I don't really say a particular person because it it's a little rocky. But
You can say what you need to say.
it is what
I
it
promise
is.
you, you in a
It
safe
is what it
place in
is.
company that understands you. Okay.
Yeah, it is what it is. But
Mhm.
yeah.
That's interesting. And with that, it's it's interesting to have those ninth house placements where you're thinking about spirituality and philosophy, and then you also have strong Pisces eighth house placements. And you know, I imagine that you're probably naturally curious about different systems and spiritualities. And
Hmm.
shit, why not? We still have the internet. Like, let's learn about what other people have thought.
Right,
Like,
right.
delve into it and, you know, see what works. Do you have, thinking about like the fourth and eighth house placements in the Scorpio and Pisces, do you have a
Hmm.
lot of connection to like your, are you called to either like animal spirit guides or like ancestry or any like how are
Yeah.
what draws you in? Or
So, like, I have this thing where I call it my happy place when I go meditate. So it's like if you walk out and you just like teleport to like, I don't know, it's like there's a big open pond and then there's like a waterfall and then like there's grass everywhere, there's trees everywhere. And then when I turn around, I see like a dragon and I talk to him for a while
ooh,
and we just sit there and we talk. And then when I come out of that, I just go to my journal and I'll reflect on what I self-consciously spoke to myself about. So I don't know. I love animals too. So like I own a turtle. His name is Pompey. So like I treat him like he's my child. So like I take him to the store with me. Like I literally will hold him in my hand. I'll take him with me, and like he's a puppy or something. And everyone looks at me like I'm crazy, but like he really is like a piece of me because like I love animals. Like I really, really genuinely do. Like I'll see a stray cat. Like just the other day, we have stray cats like in my area, and I asked my mom if we could have one. She said no. So kind of bummed about that.
Right.
But um it's just I connect, which is really weird because I have like almost no earth placements, but I really do connect with the earth a lot. And it just it's very interesting to know a lot of things when you put it into perspective, when you sit down and actually talk to yourself about it before you say anything in the universe. So,
Yeah.
You
And
should
you,
look up. I was gonna say you should look up the dragon spirit. That's a good. That's a good spirit animal,
yeah, that
especially for an
is.
Aries.
Yes, with the Leo rising.
Right.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
all of that
Right.
fire.
That's
yeah.
like if you described an animal, it would be a dragon, an Aries sun, a Leo, a Scorpio moon, and a Leo rising.
And then when it comes to like spirits and stuff,
Hmm.
I'm kind of trying to study like Orishas and stuff, and I kind of feel
Mm.
called to Oya. So,
Oof.
like, it just kind of all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're working on it though.
I love
Love
it.
it.
Yeah, and
Anytime.
I think it makes no sense to suppress learning about what interests you, and
Right.
yeah, it's I don't know. Now we're just having a
Yeah, I was gonna.
conversation, but
No, I was gonna say, especially within the spirituality and the deep. Well, what we were talking about earlier, also on the call, is that like you enjoy depth. Like it's very hard for you to kind of be surface. Like
Right.
you can be, but your
It's
spirit
just
calls for you to be. It's just like, why would I? You know, you would rather.
when we have so much time just to like just go do the research. Like it's so much fun just to dive deep into like the abyss of the unknowing. Like why just touch the surface of something when you literally have 24 hours in a day to go do something like no no.
Exactly. That's
24
24.
quotes.
That's where we at, y'all. 24 hours
It's
in a day.
24. There's
We're
12
I
hours in a
questioning
love it.
time.
day.
We
Yeah.
should be questioning time.
I
It's
love
true.
it. Yes. So, your North Node is, as Cassie said, in Virgo, in the
Hmm.
second house, which second house rules resources, self worth, and assets. And Cassie also gave you great advice for taking your time and taking it step by step, and that's what the Virgo North Node has taught me is that I have to set some sort of um, boundary of like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to stay organized. It's very difficult when that Pisces South Node is so free and ready to just. It's easy to just be like, oh my God, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
not how this works. So your North Node is called the Way of Structure.
It's a way of
Huh,
structure.
who would have thought?
Okay.
Um, and the core lesson is creating structure in all aspects of your life, physical, mental, and emotional. Interesting, right? The goal is to become decisive in practical and grounded ways. Your release is the yearning for a more idealized world. Your reward is the joy of knowing the right course of action. The gifts you have are spiritual, compassionate, and spiritual, compassionate, and psychic. And the pitfalls are ungrounded, escapist, and unaware. The balance point is spiritual and physical. Amazing, right? And your suggestion is think of information as a tool. Realize that decision making is about putting all considerations into perspective. Don't feel overwhelmed. Get organized. Take one step at a time. What? The crystal and gemstone for your karmic path is jade.
I love
Ooh.
It's
green. I
it's
love a
a
green.
multidimensional stone infused with the knowledge of many realms. This mineral guides the soul to manifest, function, and find meaning on the earthly plane. The affirmation is I love life and it flows through me in ever greater abundance. So go find you a
Ooh.
nice piece of jade
I'll go
Mm.
find some.
to
I actually
get
am going to
that.
this. I'm going to the crystal stop maybe Friday.
All right.
Maybe.
Well, now you have some sort of, energy to go look for and
You
Add
can
to
put
your
it on your to-do
repertoire.
list and then cross it off. Great.
So we're gonna rock into our game with you called
Ooh,
Blame It on Your Big Three, and we have decided for you to choose essential oils as descriptions of the big three.
ooh, okay.
So we're going to give you an essential oil,
Ooh,
and you
okay.
tell us if it relates to your Aries sun, Scorpio moon, or your Leo rising. And there's going to be two of
Okay.
each. So,
Ooh, okay. I'm
All
excited.
right,
Okay.
Cassie, you
Janae.
go first.
Oh, you
Oh,
want me to go first? Okay.
yep.
Lemon.
Rising.
Yes, yes, Leo rising. That's like, to me, I chose that because it's like the sun
It's
if it
the
were
sun.
a
It's
fruit.
like it's like you get the citrus and you get it's like the star of the show. It's like if I'm not I really don't like being the center of attention, but it just always just circles back around to me and I'm not gonna complain if it's there, but like yeah.
By the way, you have zero discrete placements, but okay. Um,
Like at
none.
all. Like at all. But yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
All right. I have tea tree.
Definitely my Scorpio. I feel no, hear me out. No, hear me out. Hear me out. No, hear me out. Okay. So when I work with tea tree oils and stuff, it's like a very strong, it has a very strong scent when you smell it. So with me, I'm learning to be a stronger person, like in terms of being vulnerable and expressing my feelings and my emotions. So like it just kind of intertwines for me.
You got it right.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Yeah. I put because it's powerful and purifying.
Mm-hmm.
And that is definitely a
Mm.
Scorpio moon.
Mm-hmm. All right. Patchouli.
Mm. Hmm. I'm. I don't want to say the Leo again, but like with that one as well, it just I don't know.
I appreciate the thought you've given to it because
It's
it was
like
the hardest one for me to pick. I
that's
put
what
it
I'm like. Oh,
I put it for your Scorpio moon because to me patchouli is a very like multi-level kind of scent. There's a lot happening with it. It's also often used to mask another scent.
that's so like I don't know. So like that's why I want to put it with my Leo because I kind of use the Leo placement to like mask who I really, really, truly am. So
Mm.
like I'm like I'm so sad and I want to cry. But then my friend's like, let's go out. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And they're like, yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm so serious.
Leo moon,
I
or I
love
mean
it.
Leo rising. You're doing what you
It
gotta
is. No, you
do.
say he was like, I'm
No.
crying inside, but outside you'd never
But
know.
you never know. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How about tangerine?
Ooh, that's the Aries. Definitely
You
for
know it
sure.
is.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's the sweetness. Like I'm such a sweetheart, and then you get that little tang a little bit. And
There it
Oh,
is.
that's right. Ginger.
Scorpio. I like
I picked that for
the
Aries because it
really.
was bright. I thought, yeah, that was where my head was at with
So
that like
like
awakening kind of.
so for me with ginger, I use it as like a not necessarily a cleansing type of situation, but a lot of the times
Mm.
it's one of those things, especially with the essential oil, it's one of those like pungent things, and it can I don't know with my Scorpio, it's just like I'm a very like loving person to people who I let in. So when I let you in, I just like all of what I feel inside just comes out. So like when you smell it, like when you inhale it, it's be like, okay, wait a minute, this is a lie. Like this is a lie, but I'm enjoying it. Like I enjoy
Right,
you being
right.
vulnerable. So yeah.
I'm you know what? I changed my answer. I'm thinking it is a Scorpio. I'm with you.
All right, the last one I have for you is turmeric.
Hmm. I'm definitely going with Aries. I'm sorry. Like the color. Well, first of all, rip off the color. Like when you see me, my personality just walks into the room. So like it's bright. It's a very bright orangey color, like yellowish orangey color. You're gonna see me from a mile away. You're gonna hear. First of all, you're gonna hear me before I even enter the room. So like I don't know, but it's one of those. I really love the smell of turmeric, which it's kind of weird. People say that I'm weird for liking it because it's such a it's I love it
It's
though.
so
I
powerful.
love it. It's a very powerful energy. You just have to be like just walk into the room and own it kind of.
So I put Leo rising because that's what
I
they
was
do.
going to. I
That's
was
what I
literally
do.
going to, but yeah.
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
said Leo rising because it's warm and energizing, but like you said, if it's in a room, if it's in a dish, the turmeric is like you see it again, the star of the show. Um,
Hmm.
Great job, Kiande.
Yes, you
Let's
won.
see. You are self-aware. No. Let the people know what you're doing. Talk about all of your fun things that you
Yeah.
want, which you want to share.
What I want to
Um,
share. Okay,
and let them know
so
where they can find you and such.
So I have an aromatherapy shop. Been in business about a year and there's some change. Um, Anything you think of, crystals, I got scents, essential oils. I'm dibbling dabbling in like love, not love oils, but like self-care love oils where you put on yourself and it's like okay, I'm using it, setting the intention of like I want to be productive, but with myself today. I do
Nice.
tarot readings. I write poems, and that's
Where
kind of like the more.
where can we find your shop?
So it is at the Root Aromatherapy on Instagram, and the website is therootaromatherapy.com. It should be in my bio on here, but I'm
Okay.
not 100% sure. Um, I'm teaching myself to DJ. The second one, I'm teaching myself to DJ. Um, I haven't really set a name for it yet. So I'm working on that. And then I am working on a music festival, which I was talking about earlier. It's called Elements Under the Sun. I do
I love
too. So I'm so
I
excited.
okay, you have to let
So
us know when this festival is happening because you got some
okay.
supporters.
So
Please.
like you said earlier, here's my little notepad where I'll write my stuff down and then I'll scratch it off when it already is done.
that. Yes.
So I try to be productive every day. It's coming together kind of faster than I thought, honestly. It's actually kind of easier than I thought, but I need a team to do it. Now that I have a team and we've had like our first meeting and we've talked about what we want it to be and how we want it to be, now we're in the process of getting our logos and stuff made, fundraising, and yeah.
Well,
Yes.
once you get your info for that, let us know so people can come find the.
So we have an Instagram account, but it's not 100% set up yet.
Okay.
The ad name is Elements Music Festival. It's ELEMNTS Music Fest on Instagram, and then the
All right.
website will be the same.
Okay.
Got it. All right.
Bam. Well, we do have the ruled aromatherapy
Yes,
in
that's
the
it.
chat. Yep, that's what we have.
Yes,
Coral, thank you so much. Kiande, you've been an amazing guest. Thank you
thank you
so
so
much
much.
for coming to
This
locate
was so
us.
fun.
And
No,
of
this was
course,
literally the
Yes.
funnest thing ever.
tell your friends, tell your friends.
Of
Yes.
course.
Thank you. We're so excited to see
Some of them
your.
actually were here. I don't know if they stayed, but some of them were actually
I
here.
appreciate it. No, I tell them yes. Share them.
We love
We
the
Yeah,
appreciate
love. They
it.
were pumped to see you.
yeah.
Yes, we are pumped to have you and to see just you conquer the world with your powerful big
Awesome.
three energy. That
That's right. It's very
Virgo North Node
it's
just
very
keeping you to
chaotic.
task.
It's very, very chaotic, but we're getting through.
The universe is chaos, so you know what?
True.
You're gonna be great.
Very true.
All right, we will
Well,
talk to you
thank you so
soon.
much for having
You're
me.
Yes, of
welcome.
All
course.
right,
Care.
Gotta
bye.
kick you
Bye-bye.
out, but come back in and see us in the
Will
chat.
do. I'm not leaving.
I'm here forever.
Boom.
Quiande will
Yes.
come
Oh my
back.
gosh. That was awesome. Yeah, we'll have him
Amazing.
back.
Yes.
Okay, I want to answer this question real quick before we get into this, before I forget.
Oh,
More 90s. Hey girl, we remember you.
yes. I
Question
remember
was, where is the best place to get your natal chart website recommendations, descriptive breakdowns?
that.
I'm a
Ooh.
huge fan of AstroTem, because you can see the circular chart with all the placements, and when you use your mouse to roll over your placements, it kind of gives you a little definition. It is a little out there, but at least it gives you like an idea. And then Cafe Astrology also has one, and their breakdown is just a little bit different, and it breaks down the elements for you. Those are mine too.
Yeah, I think AstroTem is the best for, which is like, it's spelled like astrotheme.com,
Oh
but it's
yeah.
it's French. So Tennah, Clodocin, that the pronunciation is AstroTem. Um, I think I like the way they do their charts the best, but their breakdowns I don't think are the best. Cafe Astrology I think has better like descriptions, but I would
Yes.
highly recommend checking, if you don't want to buy it, check your local public library for the only astrology book you ever need, and then just like pull up your chart on AstroTem and you can break down like every single placement in it's by Joanne Woolfolk. Woolfolk. It's the only astrology book you'll ever need. Which it's not. There are other good ones, but it's a great one because it does go through, you know, okay, here's every planet and every possible sign it could be in, every planet, every possible house it could be in, every aspect
Yeah, it is a really
here it
good.
could be.
I was like,
Um,
it's not within arm's reach, but it's a good book. I was
yeah,
like,
mine's across the
I mean,
room.
it's like right there, but too much. But Cassie said that is actually a really good book.
Hmm.
Because the website's only going to show you so much, and it's nice to have the chart, but it's also nice to use one of those books where you can reference it back and forth, draw in it, gives you a little more detail.
The
Um,
the name of the book is The Only Astrology Book You'll Ever Need. And we can put it in our show notes as well. But yeah, it's like, I think it was the first astrology book I ever bought. I don't know, Tanae, about you, but for a long time, it was the only one I'd ever read. And then I supplemented it with stuff off the internet. But yeah,
it
it's really
wasn't
good.
the first one I bought. I can't even remember, to be honest with you, the first astrology book I
Well, I guess technically I did buy like one of those little ones. It was like your
bought.
birthday, whatever.
I might
Like,
have bought a Susan, what was her name? Susan Goodman?
oh yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Suzanne, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I have quite a few.
Yeah.
So, what were you going to say before I cut you off? I'm sorry.
Oh no, no, no. I was just gonna say also Channy Nicholas's
Oh,
You Were
absolutely.
Born for This. Another I kept my public library's copy for the first 3 months of this year and used it to prep for a lot of shows because it's a really good breakdown of your big three.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you want to get in some of these questions? If anybody has
Yeah.
any questions, please go ahead and drop them in the chat. We can go ahead and answer any question. Honestly, it doesn't have to be about, we'll talk about whatever. I
Yeah,
mean,
right. What are you into? Anybody watched Yellowstone? Okay. So first question from very handsome Sagittarius gentleman I know, at Capoeira Capybara. What does the full moon in Sagittarius mean for me, a Sagittarius?
Ooh, it means you're going to be on your shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and you're fuck shit.
You know,
Brandon.
when they talk about full moons all the time, full moons. It, like everybody always says, like, "Oh my God, it's a full moon." Everybody is crazy, and legitimately, it's true. They usually
Hmm.
are.
Hmm.
I think a Sagittarius on a Sagittarius full moon is gonna be as Sagittarius as they want to be. I think they're going to be the life of the party. I think they're going to have a really good time. They may get lucky in more ways than one.
Ew.
Ba-dum-boom.
We'll see. I have to check my schedule. Yeah. So I was thinking about this, because we talked about this like at home, and do you like Sagittarius? No,
You're not a
Sagittarius.
The Leo just not gonna let you know. I don't really give a fuck. Sorry.
That's hilarious. You know, I was talking with him about like just how you use moon, phases in like magic or whatever. And I was like, I don't really, I was like, I'm hesitant to work with the full moon as like a manifestation, whatever. I was like, but if there was a specific goal you were working toward, I would say for the year, like the full moon in your sun sign would be a good time to try some manifestation magic. But I was like, for you, it's like, I just think it'll probably be a nice, spicy, extra fun moon for you. And also I would, kind of think about the last year and think about if there's anything you need to release. And that would, a good practice for all full moons, but you might feel a little heightened in your own full moon.
And maybe go back to what your Sagittarius new moon was and look at what you were manifesting then, and then check on your progress now, because the next time you're going to have set your like a good moon in Sagittarius will be your new moon. So where you're going to go in the next time before that happens.
For sure.
Okay, you want to do the email question?
Yeah.
Okay. What does it mean to have two signs in one house? Okay, so when we talk about having signs in houses, when you know your birth time, your rising sign usually starts your first house. For some people, their rising and their sun sign can be in the same, their rising can be in the first house, their sun can be in the 12th house. It kind of just depends on when you're born and what degrees the chart was rotating at when you were born. And so when you have two signs in one house, it just means that it's like polarizing energy sometimes, because they're probably right next to each other, which means they have zero in common, no same elements, no same quality or anything. So it's like trying to balance always a night and day type of energy, a push and pull, one thing and the other. And I think that's usually what that house means, is that you're going to have to learn how to balance both of those.
Yeah, and for most people will. The way that Tennah and astrologers do differ in how they delineate what sign is in what house. And trying not to go too deep, but
hey, why not?
But we kind of have to.
We only have 24 hours.
So if we're looking at this chart, this is Quiande's chart, but you see he was born at this moment. And when Leo was at 11 degrees. And so the first 1 through 10 degrees of Leo are technically in his 12th house, because the moment you were born should start your first house. And so he has, what's each one, 30 degrees? So he's got about 19 degrees in Leo, and then he'll have 11 in Virgo. So some astrologers basically round. So like whatever is the majority, it's whatever your ascendant is, it rules all of your first house, regardless of if the planet's actually lining up to a different, or the houses might actually be overlapping two different signs.
That's how Cafe Astrology explains it, is that Cafe Astrology basically picks for you. Astro Tem shows you that you can have two signs in the same house.
And Tennah and I read charts that way. It's basically staying true to the idea that at the moment of birth, you start at 0 degrees of the first house. And so the next 30 degrees, even if only 19 of them are in one sign and 11 are in another, is still your first house. And you have to look at, okay, my Venus is in this part of my first house, but my Mercury's in this part, and they're in two different signs. And other people would break those apart and say that the Venus was in the only one in the first house, and your Mercury was actually in the second house.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at it, I like to pay attention to how close the planets are to the edge of the house, and like what
Mm-hmm.
other influences maybe pulling on them or adjusting, the meaning. So, yes, Heather, please come on the show. Send us an email at the zodiacchatline@gmail.com. We'll get back to you
Yeah.
after the hiatus.
Yeah. We know you. Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
So yeah, it's it doesn't mean anything in particular. It just means that I agree with you today that it creates some kind of tension in those houses. But I think really what it comes down to is you have to look at the planets themselves and where they fall within that house. And then, because if you just have in your seventh house, half Leo and half Virgo or whatever, but you don't have any planets in there, that's not going to be an exceptionally potent energy for you, right? But if you had two planets in the Leo portion of that house and 3 in the Virgo portion, and then you would be able to talk about how the tension between those two signs coexisting in that house is really meaningful to your particular, chart.
And it usually just represents like cusp energy basically at that point.
Yeah. And exactly. And like Tanae mentioned, because signs that are right next to each other don't have anything in common as far as how we categorize them, the elements, the qualities or whatever, there's going to be a lot of competing energy in that.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everybody just slowly take the time to get your chart. I mean, it's and what we try to do here is we take the energy from your chart and show you in real human form what that expresses like and what that energy looks like. And for you, if you are having trouble with being grounded, maybe you don't have any earth energy, or maybe if you are too emotional, everything is water. And it's
Are you attacking me?
See how they feelings get hurt like that? He said that. Listen, if don't listen, a hit dog will holler. Wasn't nobody talking to you. Right? Like, I'm just saying, like, take the time to get to know yourself and your chart. Take it one step at a time. If you know what your sun is, the easiest thing is to see the sign that your sun is and the house it is. And you can Google it 1,000 times. You can find a book and start there, because just knowing your sun placement and your house placement will kind of elevate what you know about yourself. Because it'll put more of the house placement put a lot of themes in your life. It kind of tells you what is, Quiande had a lot of ninth house energy for him. So that theme was an eighth house energy. So, his themes are travel, spirituality, like things like
transformation.
Transformation. So just themes, Speaking of, so I tried to hit, this is what we're going to do today, guys. This card we're going to pull from the Sacred Spirit, written by Anna Stark and illustrated by Louise Dyer. Look at that on the front. Yes.
I know. I want to see that deer show up. That's stag.
Go ahead. You called it in there. I hope that it does. I hope it is one of the cards. I think it is.
That'd be weird.
I think it is, right. It reminds me of the Patronus from Harry Potter.
Yes.
Patrona. Sorry. Yes, we stand. Speaking of, you please check out Quiande's aromatherapy shop, because he has, what was it? Named after
Harry Potter's
characters.
Themed spells. Yeah,
there it is.
like
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Oh, is that Hypnotone from Futurama?
The fact
Anybody
that
get
it's
that
a
reference?
frog, and we talked about that earlier. That's like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, expecto patron. Thank you, girl. Appreciate you. All right, shield your energy. Look beneath the surface. Cleanse your space. The frog is a diverse amphibian living all over the world. The frog thrives in clean habitats. Its life is a process of metamorphosis from egg to tadpole and then to adult frog. Frogs are often seen as the ultimate rainmaker with exotic and intrinsic sounds of their beautiful sacred song echoing through their native bushland. The slippery creature cannot endure a toxic environment and requires unpolluted habitats to thrive. In order for you to succeed right now, you must clear and screen your surroundings. Closely connected to moon cycles, the frog encourages you to release your emotions in a healthy way, washing away any negative physical or mental energies that restrict you from having a positive and peaceful life. Lord. Encouraging you to look deeper into a situation to find the truth of the matter. The frog will challenge you to release anything that is holding you back from success. You may be feeling swamped right now, swimming through murky water, but just like the frog, you may need to rest long or to hibernate from others while you gather your senses and a fresh perspective. Right now, the gentle energy of the frog totem is requesting you to look deep beneath the surface. Not everything is what it is as appears. Influence from toxic environments is suffocating your natural gifts and talents that need to be nurtured. You require a healthy, supportive, and loving environment for you to grow and thrive as an individual. Now is the time to take care of your health, releasing emotions and examining your own energy and how it interacts with others. Use the element of water to unblock energy fields and create a smooth flow of Kundalini for personal healing and growth. Find your own sacred song. Call to others who share your passions and interests where you can support and renew your inner fire. Wow. Shadow aspects, stagnation, untidy hoarding. The sacred crystal is a black obsidian. The angel assistant is Archangel Uriel, clear focus, mental clarity, and shielding negativity. The affirmation is, I sing the beautiful sacred song of my heart, clear and loud for all to hear.
Hell yes.
Every time.
Perfect.
Every
Perfect for
time.
Quiande and for the full moon in Sag. Love it.
All of those things.
Take a bath, sing a song,
That's it.
release.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Like when it knows. See, I knew it was a good one to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, once again, Quiande, thank you so much. It was a pleasure and a blast. Next week we will have a special show for you, and we'll let you know on our socials coming up this week. But Cassie, it's been real. Less than 24 hours. Just kidding. I don't
Love
even
it.
know. I'm gonna keep that going, stealing it.
Yeah, that's right.
But thank you so much for joining me as always. Yes, you will be back soon. We already know it. We've already talked about it. Mikey
Mm-hmm.
the Icon. Check out their shop. And Cassie, I would never want to do this without you. So glad we have made it this far, girl. Woo!
I know, another wonderful one in the books with you today. I love you.
Yes. All right, y'all. We out of here. It's all love as always.
Peace.